The men and women who rise above mediocrity do so not through luck or mere talent, but through absolute seriousness of intent. If you wish to break free from distractions and claim your rightful place among the successful, you must first master your own mind. In the next few moments, I will reveal the principles that will train your thoughts for achievement, help you cast aside the trivial, and set you firmly on the path to progress. Few will take this journey, but those who do will transform their lives forever. One bouncing back from setbacks life will test you. It will place obstacles in your path, challenge your resolve, and demand of you a level of endurance that few are willing to summon. You will fail, you will stumble, you will experience setbacks so discouraging that you may wonder if the pursuit of success is even worth it. But understand this, setbacks are not the enemy. They are not the problem. The only problem lies in how you choose to respond. The most successful men and women throughout history have failed more times than most people have even dared to try. Their greatness was not forged in comfort, nor was it handed to them on a silver platter. It was built through trial, through hardship, through an unshakable will to rise above every defeat. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is not luck, not talent, but the ability to see failure not as an end, but as a lesson. Every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger. Every mistake contains within it the seed of wisdom. Every setback is nothing more than a stepping stone to greatness. Too many people allow failure to define them. They make an attempt, they encounter resistance, and they retreat. They tell themselves a story that they are not meant for success, that they lack the talent, the intelligence, the luck required to reach their dreams. And in doing so, they accept mediocrity. But those who achieve, those who refuse to let failure write their story, they see things differently. When they fall, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What adjustments must I make? They do not complain. They do not wallow in self-pity. They extract a lesson, refine their approach, and move forward with even greater determination. Failure is never final. It is never fatal. It is only a temporary state, a moment in time that presents you with a choice. Stay down or rise. The world will always divide itself into two types of people: those who surrender at the first sign of difficulty, and those who rise time and time again, refusing to let any defeat be their last. Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the electric light bulb, failed thousands of times before discovering the right formula. He did not see those failures as wasted efforts. He saw them as essential steps in his journey. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of success. Henry Ford, one of the greatest industrialists in history, faced multiple business failures before establishing the Ford Motor Company. He was broke, humiliated, and laughed at by his peers. But he did not stop. He pressed on, refining his approach, learning from his mistakes until he revolutionized an entire industry. His failure was not the end, it was the foundation upon which he built his empire. If you have been knocked down, know this: you have two options. You can accept defeat, or you can stand up and press forward. The difference between those who achieve and those who do not is not found in talent or intelligence, but in their decision to persist when others would quit. Success is not about never falling. It is about standing up time and time again, refusing to accept anything less than the life you were meant to live. The road to success is paved with difficulties. You will encounter critics who doubt you. You will face circumstances that seem unfair. You will wrestle with self-doubt, and there will be moments when you question whether you are strong enough to continue. But within you lies a power greater than any obstacle. You were born with the ability to rise. The question is not whether life will test you. It will. The question is whether you will answer that test with strength, courage, and an unshakable resolve. Each time you fail, remind yourself, this is not the end, this is merely a chapter. The story is not over, and when you rise from failure, when you face your challenges with an indomitable will, you are forging the very strength that will one day carry you to the heights of success. Success belongs not to the ones who never fall, but to those who refuse to stay down. Rise and claim the life that is waiting for you. 2, the unshakable foundation. The greatest tragedy in life is not the lack of talent, nor is it the absence of opportunity. It is self-doubt, the silent thief that robs men and women of their potential before they even begin their journey. More dreams have been buried under the weight of disbelief than have ever been destroyed by failure. The saddest truth of all, most people never fail because they tried and fell short. They fail because they never tried at all. If you do not believe in yourself, why should anyone else? The world mirrors your conviction. It responds not to your desires, but to your certainty. The most successful people in history shared one common trait, an unshakable belief in their own abilities. They saw themselves as victors long before they achieved victory. Their faith in their vision was absolute, their confidence in their path unbreakable. It was not luck that lifted them to greatness, nor was it privilege. It was the refusal to let self-doubt dictate their fate. Consider Thomas Edison, who was told he lacked intelligence as a child. Had he believed that lie, the world might still be in darkness. Instead, he believed in his mind, his capacity for discovery, and he transformed human civilization. Henry Ford was mocked for pursuing the automobile. He had no formal education, no wealth to rely on, only a vision and the belief that he could bring it to life. And he did. Time and time again, the greatest figures in history have proven that self-belief is the foundation upon which all success is built. But belief is not a gift. It is a skill. It must be cultivated, strengthened, and trained like a muscle. You must make a conscious effort to reprogram your mind, to replace every doubt with certainty. How? Through repetition, through conditioning, through deliberately feeding your mind with thoughts of success until they become your default state. You must visualize yourself as the person you aspire to be. See it in your mind's eye with such clarity that it feels real. Expect greatness from yourself, not as a possibility, but as an inevitability. The moment you truly believe in your success, the universe will conspire to make it happen, not because of magic, but because your belief will drive your actions, sharpen your focus, and give you the resilience to keep moving forward when others would quit. Self-doubt is a disease, and it spreads if left unchecked. If you allow negative thoughts to take root, they will multiply, weakening your resolve and paralyzing you with fear. But just as doubt can be fed, so can belief. Choose what you feed your mind. Surround yourself with knowledge, with inspiration, with people who reinforce your confidence instead of tearing it down. If you expose yourself to negativity, to skepticism, to the voices of those who have never dared to reach beyond their comfort zones, your own belief will suffer. Guard your mind like a fortress, allowing only the influences that strengthen your vision. Remember this: no one who has ever achieved greatness started with a guarantee of success. They started with belief. Every empire, every innovation, every triumph in history was first built in the mind before it was realized in the world. If you wish to be successful, you must do the same. See it first, believe it completely, then act on it with unrelenting determination. You have within you every tool you need to succeed. You do not lack ability. You do not lack opportunity. What you may lack is the unwavering faith in yourself that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. But that faith can be built. You must cultivate it, feed it, strengthen it every single day. There is no obstacle too great, no challenge too daunting if you truly believe in yourself, because belief fuels persistence. And persistence is the force that bends reality to your will. It is the secret weapon of every great achiever. So ask yourself, do you believe, not just in your dreams, but in your ability to make them real? If there is doubt in your mind, root it out. Replace it with certainty. Train yourself to expect success, and success will follow, because the moment you truly believe, nothing becomes impossible. 3, the power of decision. Every great achievement begins with a decision to change, a decision to rise, a decision to never settle for mediocrity. Look around. Every success story you've ever heard, every empire that was ever built, every innovation that changed the world, it all started with one defining moment where an individual decided enough is enough. Most people drift through life carried by circumstances, waiting for a sign, waiting for permission. They postpone their dreams, hoping for the right time, as if opportunity will one day knock on their door, fully formed, ready to be seized. But those who achieve greatness understand something fundamental. Decisions shape destiny, not luck, not chance, not fate. The moment you make a firm, unwavering decision to take control of your life, you set forces in motion that begin shaping your reality. Consider the man who once stood penniless but held within him an unshakable vision. He did not wait for favorable conditions. He did not ask whether the world approved of his ambition. He simply decided that nothing, no obstacle, no hardship, no doubt would deter him from his purpose. He did not merely wish for success, he demanded it of himself. And because he made that demand, life eventually yielded to his will. The truth is, the world does not care about your excuses. It does not listen to the stories you tell yourself about why you have not started, why you have hesitated, why you have allowed time to slip through your fingers. The only thing that matters is whether you will decide right now that you will no longer wait. Burn the bridges that lead back to mediocrity. Eliminate the words someday and maybe from your vocabulary. If you desire success, if you wish to claim the life you know you are meant to live, then you must make a decision with such finality that there is no retreat, no surrender, only forward momentum. History is filled with examples of those who made such decisions. The inventors, the empire builders, the leaders who reshaped civilization, all had one thing in common. They made a decision and they backed it with relentless action. It is not enough to merely think about success. It is not enough to daydream and hope. Thoughts are powerful, yes, but they must be coupled with unwavering action. The person who merely wishes will always be at the mercy of those who decide. Decide today that you will no longer play small. Decide today that you will no longer accept the limits imposed upon you, whether by others or by your own fears. The only limits that exist are those that you refuse to break through. What have you been postponing? What dreams have you been shelving, waiting for the right time? The right time is a myth, an illusion that keeps the masses in perpetual hesitation. The successful understand that the only time is now. Burn this into your mind. The world will yield to you when you demand it to, not with arrogance, but with absolute certainty that you are willing to do what it takes. Those who wait for permission never rise. Those who ask for guarantees never lead. The person who succeeds is the one who refuses to retreat. The one who, in the face of failure, does not turn back, but rather adjusts, learns, and presses forward. Every setback is merely a test of commitment. Every obstacle is an invitation to prove how much you desire your goal. Most people will never make such a decision. They will flirt with the idea of success. They will toy with ambition, but they will never commit at the level required to truly change their lives. They will remain comfortable in their hesitation, forever wondering what might have been if only they had dared. Today is the day you declare your independence from hesitation, from doubt, from excuses. Make a decision, a real decision to rise, to get serious, to get smart, to take control of your life with absolute determination. No more waiting, no more excuses. The time is now. Decide and commit with everything you have. 4, clarity and purpose. If you were to set out on a journey without a destination in mind, where would you end up? Nowhere. Yet, this is how most people live. They wake up, go about their routines, and react to life as it happens. No clear goals, no precise vision, and then they wonder why they remain stuck. Successful people do not drift aimlessly. They design their future with intention. Every great achiever in history has had a definite major purpose. They did not succeed by chance. They succeeded by choice, by design, by unwavering commitment to a well-defined goal. The world does not reward the uncertain, nor does it celebrate the aimless. It favors those who know precisely what they want and refuse to settle for less. Think of a sculptor shaping a masterpiece. He does not strike the marble at random, hoping that a fine statue will emerge. He chisels with precision, knowing exactly what he wants to create. The same principle applies to life. If you wish to mold your destiny, you must be deliberate in your actions. Clarity is power, and a clear vision is the foundation of all achievement. To achieve success, you must define what success looks like for you. Is it financial freedom? Is it personal excellence? Is it mastery in your craft? Do not settle for vague wishes. Get specific. The clearer your vision, the stronger your drive. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, tossed aimlessly by the waves of circumstance. But a man with a clear goal bends circumstance to his will. Today, you must take control of your life by getting clear on what you truly want. Not what society tells you, not what your family expects, what you desire. Most people drift through life allowing external forces to dictate their outcomes. They work jobs they despise, maintain relationships that drain them, and spend years chasing goals that were never truly theirs. They climb ladders only to realize they were leaning against the wrong walls. If you fail to define your own vision, the world will impose one upon you, and it will rarely be in your favor. To start, take a sheet of paper and write down exactly what you want in life. Do not filter your thoughts. Do not limit yourself. Imagine there were no obstacles. Money, time, and resources were no issue. What would you pursue? Where would you go? Who would you become? The act of writing down your goals is not a trivial exercise. It is the first step in turning the intangible into reality. A goal unwritten is merely a wish, but a goal committed to paper, reviewed daily and pursued relentlessly, becomes a powerful force of attraction. Once you have clarity, the next step is to align every action to that vision. Make every decision with your goal in mind. If an opportunity arises, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my vision, or does it distract me? Many people hesitate to commit to a definite goal because they fear failure. They fear making the wrong choice. But indecision is the greatest failure of all. If you choose wrongly, you can correct your course. But if you never choose, you will remain stagnant, watching life pass you by. Burn into your mind this truth. The universe rewards those who know exactly what they want. When your vision is clear, life begins to conspire in your favor. Doors open. People appear. Opportunities present themselves, but it all begins with clarity. Success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of choice. And that choice begins with a vision so clear and powerful that it pulls you forward even in the face of adversity. So today, take control. Define your purpose. Write down your vision. Commit to it with unwavering faith and watch as life bends in your favor, making your dreams an undeniable reality. 5. Discipline and hard work. Success, my dear friend, is a game that few master, not because they lack intelligence, nor because they lack opportunity, but because they refuse to pay the price. The price of success is not measured in dollars or gold, but in the currency of discipline, hard work, and sacrifice. There is no shortcut, no easy road, no secret formula. It is a universal law, as certain as gravity, that those who reap the rewards are the ones who first sowed the seeds through tireless effort and unwavering commitment. Look around at the titans of industry, the champions of sport, the intellectual giants of history. Do they stumble upon success by mere chance? No. Each and every one of them toiled, sacrificed, and endured hardships that the average person would never dare to face. Their greatness was not gifted, it was earned. They chose discipline over ease, labor over leisure, and persistence over surrender. Consider the athlete who rises before dawn to train while the world sleeps. While others revel in comfort, he pushes his body beyond its limits, perfecting his craft with ruthless precision. His victories are not accidents, but the result of deliberate, calculated preparation. The entrepreneur who builds an empire does not achieve wealth by luck. He faces failure after failure, refines his strategy, and works with an intensity that would break lesser men. The scholar who achieves brilliance does not merely wish for knowledge. He dedicates endless hours to study, research, and mastery. Success, then, is not about wanting it. It is about proving you want it. And proof is found not in words, not in idle dreams, but in action. If you are unwilling to sacrifice comfort, unwilling to discipline yourself, unwilling to push through the pain, then you do not truly desire success. You only wish for it, like a man who stands before a locked door hoping it will open by sheer will. But the door of success does not yield to hope. It only opens to those who bring the right key, relentless effort. Every day life presents you with two choices. The first is to remain comfortable, to take the easy road, to avoid struggle. This path requires nothing of you. It allows you to drift, to float aimlessly through life, never stretching beyond your limits. And where does it lead? Nowhere. It is the path of mediocrity, of unfulfilled potential, of regret. The second choice is far more demanding. It is the path of discipline, of sacrifice, of relentless pursuit. It is waking up early to work on your craft. It is saying no to distractions. It is embracing discomfort, knowing that it is the price of transformation. It is holding yourself accountable, pushing forward even when you feel exhausted, frustrated, or uncertain. This path is not easy, but it is the only path that leads to greatness. Now understand this. The price of success is not paid in a single transaction. It is an ongoing investment. You cannot work hard for a few weeks and expect to be rewarded. The greatest achievers did not labor for a mere season. They committed themselves for a lifetime. They understood that mastery is a continuous process, that success is not a destination, but a way of life. And here lies the great secret. The more you embrace discipline, the easier it becomes. In the beginning, it feels like a burden. It requires force, willpower, and determination. But over time, it transforms into habit. What once felt like suffering becomes second nature. Hard work ceases to be painful, it becomes exhilarating. Discipline ceases to feel like restriction, it becomes the very foundation of your freedom. Because when you master discipline, you master yourself, and the man who masters himself can shape his destiny. Many will read these words and nod in agreement, but few will act upon them, because action requires courage. It requires breaking free from old habits, facing discomfort, and demanding more from oneself. The question is, will you be among the few who pay the price, or will you remain among the many who only wish for success but never earn it? A year from now, you will stand somewhere. The question is, will it be where you are today, stagnant and unfulfilled, or will it be at the peak of a new summit, stronger, wiser, and closer to your dreams? The answer lies in what you choose today. Success is waiting, but only for those who are willing to do what it takes. 6. Controlling thoughts and emotions. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It is the most powerful tool you possess, capable of creating success or inviting failure. Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold, every idea you allow to take root in your mind is a seed that will shape your reality. What you think, you become. It is a law as real and unchanging as the law of gravity. The most successful men and women in history understood this fundamental truth. Control your thoughts, and you control your life. They did not allow doubt, fear, or negativity to dictate their actions. They guarded their minds with the same vigilance a king guards his kingdom, permitting entry only to those thoughts that serve their greater purpose. You must do the same. You must take full control of your mind and decide once and for all that failure, fear, and excuses will no longer occupy space within you. Every time you allow a negative thought to linger, you invite weakness into your spirit. Every time you indulge in self-doubt, you are chiseling away at your own potential. But the moment you decide to take charge, to think only of success, of possibility, of unwavering belief in yourself, you align your mind with power. You awaken the force that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Consider the men who have built empires, who have shaped industries, who have rewritten history. They were not free from failure. They were not immune to hardship. But they refused to allow negative thinking to dominate them. Henry Ford envisioned a world where the automobile was available to every man, not just the wealthy few. The world called him foolish. His own employees doubted him. But Mr. Ford did not doubt himself. He held on to his vision with unbreakable conviction, and in doing so, he changed the course of human history. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before perfecting the electric light bulb. Would a man without mental discipline, without mastery over his own thoughts, have continued through so many failures? Of course not. It was his ability to reject discouragement, to replace negative thinking with persistence that made him a legend. The truth is, success is not granted to those who simply desire it. It is reserved for those who train their minds to expect it. If you allow yourself to be consumed by doubt, by fear, by hesitation, you are writing your own failure before you have even begun. But if you commit yourself to the practice of mental discipline, if you reject all thoughts of weakness and embrace only those that empower you, you become unstoppable. Guard your mind fiercely. This world is full of distractions, full of people who will tell you what cannot be done. They will plant seeds of doubt if you allow them. But your mind is sacred. You must protect it. Feed it with empowering beliefs, with knowledge, with thoughts that lift you higher. Do not permit negativity to reside within you, even for a moment. How do you do this? First, take control of what you consume. The books you read, the conversations you engage in, the media you absorb. All of these shape your thoughts. Surround yourself with wisdom, with success, with stories of triumph. Let your mind be fed by those who have walked the path of greatness before you. Second, eliminate doubt through action. Too many people allow fear to dictate their choices. They hesitate, they overanalyze, and in doing so, they weaken their own belief. The cure for doubt is action. The moment you begin, the moment you take that first step, your fear begins to dissipate. The more you act, the stronger your confidence grows. Finally, train your mind daily. Just as you would strengthen your body through physical exercise, you must strengthen your mind through repetition. Speak success into existence. Repeat affirmations of strength, of courage, of certainty. Condition yourself to believe beyond any doubt that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Because the moment you master your thoughts, you master your destiny. There are no limits except those you accept. There are no failures except those you allow. The choice is yours. Will you control your mind or will you let it control you? Decide today. Take ownership of your thoughts. Choose to think only of victory, of growth, of absolute certainty in your success. And in doing so, you will unlock a power within you greater than any force in the world. Each day you hold seeds in your hands. These are your decisions, your actions, your dreams. The question is, what are you planting? What are you cultivating in your life? Today it's time to focus on you, not on what others think you should be, not on what society tells you is success, but on who you truly want to become. See, your life is a reflection of your choices. Every moment is an opportunity to plant seeds of greatness or seeds of regret. But remember, growth doesn't just happen. You must nurture it every day with intention, discipline, and passion. Success isn't complicated. It's a simple choice. It's the choice to get up, to keep going, to learn, to grow, to persist, even when it's difficult, even when it feels impossible. Ask yourself this: are you living your life by design, or are you living it by defeat? Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances rather than shaping them. But that's not you. You have the power to create your reality by the daily choices you make. Imagine your life as a masterpiece. Every day you hold the brush and every action is a stroke on the canvas. But here's the catch. Once the paint dries, there's no erasing. Your actions, your thoughts, your habits, they all matter. But here's the beauty. Each day is a fresh canvas. Each sunrise is another chance to paint your masterpiece. So let's talk about how you can make each stroke count. First, you must work on your clarity. What do you truly want in life? Not what others want for you, but what you want. When your vision is clear, your decisions become easier. You're no longer distracted by every shiny object. You become laser focused on what truly matters. Clarity is the foundation of all meaningful progress. Without it, we drift aimlessly, pulled in every direction by the expectations of others, by fleeting trends, and by external pressures. But when we cultivate true clarity, when we understand what we genuinely want, our lives take on a powerful, unwavering direction. The first step toward clarity is introspection. Too often, we chase goals that are not our own. Society, family, and peers impose their definitions of success upon us. We are told what a good life looks like, what we should aspire to, and what is considered respectable. But the truth is, none of that matters if it does not align with our inner calling. To gain clarity, we must strip away these external influences and ask ourselves, what do I truly desire? What brings me fulfillment, purpose, and peace? Once we identify what we truly want, decision-making becomes effortless. Every choice we make either moves us closer to our vision or pulls us further away. Without clarity, even the smallest decisions can feel overwhelming. But with it, we develop a filter that helps us recognize what is essential and what is merely a distraction. We no longer chase every new opportunity, every fleeting excitement, or every external validation. Instead, we focus with precision on the path that is uniquely ours. Clarity also eliminates unnecessary stress. Ambiguity breeds anxiety. When we lack a clear direction, we constantly second-guess ourselves, worrying about whether we are on the right path. We compare ourselves to others, fearing that we are falling behind. But when our vision is crystal clear, these doubts fade away. We trust our journey, knowing that every step we take is intentional. A clear vision also fuels persistence. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but those with clarity push through them with unwavering determination. Without a strong sense of purpose, obstacles can feel insurmountable. The slightest difficulty can cause us to question everything. But when we know exactly what we want, no setback can deter us. We view obstacles not as roadblocks, but as tests of our commitment. However, clarity is not a one-time realization. It is something we must cultivate continuously. Our goals and desires may evolve over time, and that's natural. And the key is to remain in tune with ourselves, to periodically reflect on our path, and to adjust our course if needed. Life is dynamic, and so is our purpose. Staying rigid in outdated aspirations can be just as detrimental as lacking clarity altogether. So take the time to seek clarity. Ask yourself the hard questions. Be brutally honest. Block out the noise of society and listen to your inner voice. When you do, life transforms. Decisions become simpler, distractions lose their power, and every action you take is infused with purpose. True success is not about living up to someone else's expectations. It is about creating a life that is genuinely fulfilling to you. And that journey begins with clarity. Then you've got to master your mindset. Understand this: your mind is either your greatest ally or your greatest obstacle. If you feed it negativity, doubt, and fear, guess what it grows? Exactly that. But if you nurture it with confidence, optimism, and resilience, you'll build an unstoppable force within you. Your mindset dictates how you perceive and respond to the world. It is the filter through which you interpret challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. A weak mindset crumbles under pressure, paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. A strong mindset, however, finds a way forward, adapting, learning, and thriving. The good news? You have control over which mindset you cultivate. Start by becoming conscious of your thoughts. Your internal dialogue is a powerful force. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that success is out of reach, or that failure defines you, then you're reinforcing a limiting belief system. But if you shift that dialogue to one of self-empowerment, reminding yourself that obstacles are opportunities, that setbacks are lessons, and that growth comes from discomfort, you begin to rewire your mind for strength and success. One way to do this is through mental conditioning. Just like training your body, you must train your mind. Visualization is a powerful tool. Top athletes and high achievers use it religiously. See yourself succeeding before you actually do. Picture yourself handling challenges with poise, achieving your goals and standing tall in the face of adversity. The mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined scenario and reality. Use this to your advantage. Another critical aspect of mastering your mindset is developing emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable. You will face failures, disappointments, and losses. What separates the strong from the weak is how they respond. Resilience is not about avoiding hardships. It's about facing them head on and coming out stronger. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn? How can I improve? What is within my control? Your environment also plays a crucial role. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift, inspire, and challenge you to grow. If you are constantly around negativity, your mindset will absorb it like a sponge. Protect your mental space as fiercely as you would your physical space. Read books that expand your perspective. Listen to podcasts that feed your mind, and engage in conversations that stimulate growth. Additionally, practice gratitude. A grateful mind is a resilient mind. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your mental energy towards abundance instead of scarcity. This shift alone can redefine how you approach life's obstacles. Finally, embrace discomfort. Growth is not found within the walls of comfort. Push yourself into situations that challenge you. Speak up when you're afraid. Take risks even when self-doubt creeps in. The more you expose yourself to challenges, the more confident and capable you become. Mastering your mindset is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment. But once you take control, you unlock a power within you that is truly unstoppable. Remember this: challenges aren't meant to break you. They're there to build you. It's the resistance you face that strengthens you. Every setback, every struggle is preparing you for a comeback stronger than you ever imagined. And you must prioritize your habits, because habits are the bricks of your life. Each day you lay another brick, and those bricks build either your dreams or your limitations. Think about it. Are your daily habits helping you or holding you back? Adjust them today, even just a little, and watch how powerfully your life transforms. Your habits are the foundation of your life. Each day you lay another brick, whether consciously or unconsciously, that contributes to the structure of your future. The question is, are you building a fortress of strength or a prison of limitation? Your habits determine the answer. Imagine waking up every morning and making the same choices, following the same routines. If these routines are empowering, they push you forward. If they are destructive, they hold you back. Small, seemingly insignificant decisions accumulate over time, shaping your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. Prioritizing your habits means recognizing their immense power. If you neglect them, they control you. But if you take charge, you mold your life with intention. This is why you must consciously choose habits that align with your highest aspiration. First, examine your current habits. Are they serving you or sabotaging you? Do they bring you closer to your goals or do they pull you away? Be honest with yourself. If you spend hours on distractions, procrastinate on important tasks, or indulge in unhealthy behaviors, you are laying weak bricks that will crumble under pressure. Next, design habits that empower you. Start small, but be consistent. If you want to be more disciplined, wake up early, exercise, and read daily. If you want financial success, cultivate the habit of saving and investing. If you seek inner peace, practice mindfulness and gratitude. Each habit reinforces the next, creating a chain reaction of progress. The key is consistency. A single brick does not make a house, but many bricks, laid with precision, form an unshakable foundation. Likewise, a single day of effort will not change your life, but years of dedication will transform you entirely. Do not underestimate the power of compounding. The habits you develop today will dictate your success in the years to come. A small improvement of just 1% each day might seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, it leads to exponential growth. On the other hand, bad habits also compound. A single day of laziness can turn into a lifetime of regret. Skipping one productive task can lead to a cycle of procrastination. Every negative habit is another brick in a wall that confines you. So make a decision today. Take control of your habits, and in doing so, take control of your life. Start with one habit, commit to it. Then add another, brick by brick. You will construct a life of strength, resilience, and purpose. The choice is always yours. Build wisely or build carelessly. Your habits shape your future. Which future will you create? A life without purpose is like sailing without a destination. You might enjoy the ride for a while, but eventually you'll wonder why you're even sailing at all. Your purpose gives direction, fuels your motivation, and inspires action. So every single day, reconnect with your why. In the grand scheme of existence, purpose is the compass that keeps us aligned with meaning. It is the force that propels us forward, even when the waves of doubt, failure, and fatigue threaten to drag us down. Without purpose, life becomes a mere sequence of events, lacking the richness and depth that make it fulfilling. But when we live with purpose, every challenge, every victory, and every setback becomes part of a larger journey that makes sense. To define your purpose, you must first look inward. Ask yourself, what moves me? What am I passionate about? What impact do I wish to leave on the world? Purpose is not simply about personal success. It is about significance. It is about knowing that your actions contribute to something greater than yourself. But discovering your purpose is only the first step. The real challenge lies in maintaining it. Life will test you. Distractions will lure you away. Doubt will creep in. That is why reconnecting with your purpose daily is essential. Begin each morning by reminding yourself why you do what you do. Whether through meditation, journaling, or a simple moment of reflection, ground yourself in your purpose before the day begins. Additionally, ensure that your actions align with your purpose. It is easy to get lost in the pursuit of money, recognition, or comfort, but if these do not serve your deeper mission, they will ultimately leave you empty. Audit your life frequently. Are you spending time on things that matter? Are your relationships, work, and habits in sync with your higher goal? If not, course correct before you drift too far off path. Understand that purpose evolves. What drives you today may not be what fuels you in a decade. Growth and change are natural, but the key is to remain intentional about refining your direction. Embrace new challenges and experiences that shape you into a wiser, more capable version of yourself. Be flexible enough to adapt, but firm enough to stay true to your core values. Living with purpose is not about achieving a single grand accomplishment. It is about making each moment count. When you face hardship, let your purpose be your anchor. When you experience success, let it be a reminder of why you started. When life feels mundane, let your purpose rekindle your passion. Ultimately, purpose is what makes life meaningful. Without it, we are merely existing. With it, we are truly alive. So every single day, reconnect with your why. Remind yourself of the impact you want to create. Let your purpose be the force that drives you, the light that guides you, and the reason you keep moving forward. My friend, the power to change your life lies entirely within you. So today, right now, commit to focusing on you. Commit to becoming the person you know you can be. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs people like you who are brave enough to lead themselves first. So, what will you plant on your canvas today? What masterpiece are you ready to create? If you want to stand out, grow, and truly achieve something great, you have to do the hard things every single day. Because the truth is, if you avoid the struggle, you also avoid the success. But if you're ready to push past your limits, follow these steps to achieve the success you've been chasing. One, doing what is hard. Every great achievement begins with a decision to step away from ease and embrace the difficult. This is the immutable law of success, woven into the very fabric of human progress. The difference between those who ascend to greatness and those who resign themselves to mediocrity is found in a single truth: their ability to do what others refuse. The masses seek comfort, security, and the predictable path. But history does not celebrate those who remain within the boundaries of ease. It honors those who venture into the unknown, who stand firm in the face of adversity, and who possess the unyielding determination to transform hardship into victory. The mind, when disciplined and properly directed, becomes the most powerful force known to man. Yet, it is only through resistance that it strengthens. Just as the blacksmith tempers steel with fire, the mind must be forged through trials. The great industrialists, the inventors, the thinkers who reshaped the world, they did not seek the easy road. They chose the path strewn with obstacles, for they understood that in struggle there is growth. In hardship there is transformation. When you choose the difficult, you separate yourself from the crowd. You forge resilience. You build a mind impervious to failure. Those who shy away from discomfort may never know the depths of their potential, for they have never tested its limit. But those who embrace the pain of discipline will soon experience the rewards of persistence. The universe bends to the will of those who refuse to surrender. The battle for success is not waged in the external world alone. It is fought within the chambers of the mind. Doubt, fear, and fatigue will whisper their temptations, urging you to abandon the journey. It is in these moments that the true test arises. Will you push forward or will you retreat? That decision alone will shape your destiny. Every leader, every innovator, every person who has left an indelible mark upon history has faced this crossroad. They have felt the weight of exhaustion, the sting of failure, the darkness of uncertainty. But they persisted. They understood that just beyond the threshold of pain lies the reward that most will never see. For when the mind is set upon a definite goal and the will is backed by unwavering persistence, nothing is impossible. It is not enough to dream. It is not enough to hope. Action is the bridge between vision and reality, and action, when taken in the face of discomfort, becomes the catalyst for transformation. Greatness is reserved for those who dare to endure. The only question that remains is, will you be one of them? 2, why comfort is the enemy of growth. Most people live their entire lives in pursuit of comfort. They seek security, they avoid risk, and in doing so, they unknowingly shackle themselves to mediocrity. Comfort is deceptive. It lulls you into a state of complacency, convincing you that you are safe, that you are satisfied. But safety and satisfaction are illusions when they come at the cost of growth. Look around. Every great innovation, every great success story was born out of discomfort. The entrepreneur who risked everything, the athlete who trained until their body could take no more, the artist who poured their soul into their craft despite rejection after rejection, these individuals refused to let comfort define them. They understood that comfort, while appealing, is the enemy of progress. The mind is like a muscle. It strengthens when challenged, weakens when idle. Those who settle for what is easy never tap into their true potential because they have never pushed themselves beyond their limits. But those who embrace discomfort, they develop resilience. They forge an unshakable mindset. They become the architects of their own destiny. The world does not reward those who remain still. It rewards those who dare to move forward despite the odds. When the Wright brothers sought to conquer the skies, they were met with skepticism. When Henry Ford revolutionized the automobile industry, he was ridiculed. When Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb, The world called him foolish. But these men were not seeking comfort. They were seeking something far greater. They embraced hardship, knowing that on the other side of struggle lay greatness. Most will not choose this path. Most will cling to what is known, to what feels safe. They will tell themselves that tomorrow is a better day to start, that the risk is too great, that they are content where they are. And so years will pass, and they will look back and wonder why they never achieved what they once dreamed of. But for those who understand this truth, the decision is clear. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond what is familiar. It happens when you dare to challenge yourself, when you willingly step into the unknown. It is in the moments of discomfort, when you are exhausted, when you are filled with doubt, when you are tempted to quit, that you are closest to transformation. The difference between those who achieve and those who do not is simple. It is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is the willingness to do what is hard, to persist when others retreat, to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term fulfillment. So, which will you choose? The safety of stagnation or the discomfort of progress? One will keep you where you are. The other will take you where you need to be. The answer will define your future. 3, the key to overcoming challenges, the road to success, is not paved with ease. It is riddled with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. But these are not signals to turn back. They are confirmations that you are on the right path. No man who has ever achieved greatness has done so without struggle. No empire has ever risen without resistance. Every failure, every defeat, every hardship is merely a stepping stone to something greater, if you choose to see it that way. The greatest asset you can develop is resilience. The ability to rise after every fall, to push forward when everything inside you screams to quit. This is the characteristic that separates those who win from those who wish. The weak surrender when they encounter difficulty. The strong use difficulty as fuel. The greatest minds, the pioneers of industry, the visionaries of change, each one has faced hardship beyond measure, but they refuse to let it define them. Instead, they let it refine them. Think of the tallest tree in the forest. It did not grow strong because it was never tested. It grew strong because it endured the storms. It bent but did not break. The winds tried to uproot it. The rains tried to drown it. Yet it stood, growing stronger with each trial. So it is with you. Your trials are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to strengthen you. Resilience is your shield against failure. It is the force that will carry you forward when motivation fades. And make no mistake, motivation will fade. The initial excitement of a new goal, the fire that burns in the beginning, will dim. And when it does, most people falter. But not those who have built resilience. They continue even when the journey becomes difficult, even when success seems distant. They understand that the prize is not won in a moment of inspiration, but in the perseverance of struggle. Here is the truth. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build. And it is built in the moments when you refuse to surrender. Every time you face adversity and choose to persist, you strengthen it. Every time you fall and rise again, you increase your capacity to withstand even greater challenges. History proves this truth. Mr. Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. Mr. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat before rising to the highest office in the land. Mr. Ford was laughed at before he revolutionized the automobile industry. What would have happened had they surrendered? Their names would be forgotten, their impact non-existent. But because they endured, they carved their place in history. The question is, will you endure or will you surrender? The world is full of those who quit, those who allow temporary discomfort to dictate their fate. But for those who persist, for those who refuse to accept failure as final, there is no limit to what can be achieved. Choose wisely, for in that choice lies your destiny. 4, goal setting. Success is not an accident. It is the result of clear, deliberate action, and that action begins with a goal. Without a goal, you are like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of the wind. No great achievement has ever been the result of mere chance. Every towering success story begins with a definite chief aim, a vision so clear and compelling that it becomes a burning obsession. The most successful people in the world are not just dreamers. They are doers. They do not sit idly by, hoping for fortune to find them. They set clear objectives, break them down into actionable steps, and take relentless action. This is the formula for achievement. It is not talent, luck, or privilege that determines who rises to greatness and who remains in mediocrity. It is the discipline to set a goal and pursue it with unwavering persistence. You must do the same. Decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Vague desires lead to vague results. A man who simply wishes to be successful will never achieve it because he has not defined what success means to him. But the man who declares with absolute conviction that he will earn a certain amount of money, build a specific business, or master a particular skill, he has taken the first step toward making it a reality. Once you have decided on your goal, write it down. The act of writing crystallizes thought. It transforms an idea into something tangible. A goal that exists only in the mind is a wish, but a goal written with clarity becomes a commitment. It becomes a contract with yourself, one that you must honor. But a goal alone is not enough. You must create a plan. Break your goal into manageable steps. Each step must be actionable, measurable, and time-bound. Success is not built in a day, but in the small, consistent efforts that compound over time. The most accomplished individuals understand this. They do not focus solely on the final outcome, but on the daily actions required to achieve it. And most importantly, take action every single day. A plan without action is worthless. The world is filled with those who dream but never do, who wish but never act. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, but perfection is an illusion. The only way forward is through action. Imperfect, relentless action. Do not let fear or doubt paralyze you. The man who hesitates, who second guesses, who waits for permission, he remains where he is, never moving forward. But the man who acts, who learns from his failures, who refines his approach and persists despite obstacles, he is the one who shapes his destiny. Because a goal without action is just a wish, and wishes do not change the world. Action does. Purposeful, determined, and disciplined action. The choice is yours. Will you be the dreamer who waits or the doer who achieves? 5, the power of self-belief. There is a force more powerful than talent, more essential than intelligence. It is belief, the unwavering conviction that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. Talent alone is not enough. Intelligence alone is not enough. The world is filled with people of extraordinary ability who never reach their full potential. Why? Because they lack belief. They allow doubt to poison their dream. They listen to the voices that tell them they are not good enough. And so they remain stagnant, imprisoned by their own minds. You must not make that mistake. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. Success is not reserved for the fortunate few. It is available to anyone who dares to claim it. But before the world can believe in you, you must believe in yourself. Even when no one else does, even when failure whispers that you should quit, even when every circumstance seems to be against you, because success begins in the mind. It is first conceived in thought before it manifests in reality. If you can see it, if you can feel it, if you can truly believe it, you can achieve it. This is not mere optimism. It is a fundamental truth of achievement. Every great accomplishment in history was first a thought, a vision held so firmly in the mind of its creator that nothing could shake it. Mr. Edison believed in the light bulb long before it illuminated a room. Mr. Ford believed in the automobile before it revolutionized the world. The Wright brothers believed in flight before a plane ever left the ground. They did not wait for proof. They did not seek permission. They believed, and their belief became reality. But belief is not passive. It is not simply wishing for success and waiting for it to arrive. True belief demands action. It requires persistence, determination, and the willingness to overcome obstacles. When setbacks come, and they will, belief is what keeps you moving forward. It transforms failure from a dead end into a stepping stone. Most people surrender at the first sign of difficulty. They see failure as proof that they are not capable. But those who truly believe understand that failure is nothing more than a lesson, a necessary step on the path to success. They do not let doubt take root. They do not allow fear to dictate their actions. They press on, knowing that belief, when combined with relentless effort, becomes an unstoppable force. So, what will you choose? Will you allow doubt to control your destiny? Or will you cultivate the unshakable belief that you are destined for something greater? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the key to your future. Dare to believe. See your success before it happens. Act with conviction. Because those who believe in themselves, those who refuse to accept limitations, those who hold firm to their vision despite every obstacle, these are the people who change the world. 6. Turning struggles into triumphs. Passion is the fuel that turns obstacles into stepping stones. It is the fire that burns within those who refuse to settle for mediocrity. When you are passionate about something, no setback is strong enough to stop you. No failure is permanent. Passion transforms adversity into opportunity and turns the impossible into the inevitable. Without it, success is fleeting and ambition fades. Look at the people who have changed the world. They were not driven by money. They were not motivated by fame. They were fueled by passion. The great inventors, the pioneers of industry, the revolutionaries of thought, they did not work merely for profit. They worked because they believed in something greater than themselves. Thomas Edison was relentless in his pursuit of harnessing electricity, failing thousands of times but never losing sight of his vision. Henry Ford was ridiculed when he dared to bring the automobile to the masses, yet he persisted because his passion outweighed every obstacle. The Wright brothers faced skepticism and failure, but their passion for flight lifted them above all opposition. Passion is the force that separates those who wish from those who achieve. When you are truly passionate, quitting is never an option. Those without passion surrender at the first sign of difficulty. They view failure as the end rather than the beginning. But those with passion see failure as a lesson, a temporary detour on the road to success. They use setbacks as fuel to propel them forward. Every obstacle becomes a challenge to overcome rather than an excuse to retreat. Find that thing that sets your soul on fire, that thing that keeps you awake at night, that fills your mind with ideas, that drives you to take action even when the odds are against you. A man without passion drifts through life, uninspired, unfulfilled. But a man who has discovered his passion becomes unstoppable. He wakes up each day with a sense of purpose, eager to move one step closer to his vision. He does not need external motivation because his passion fuels him from within. But passion alone is not enough. It must be backed by discipline, persistence, and action. Passion without effort is merely a dream. The world is filled with those who talk about what they love, but never take the necessary steps to turn their dreams into reality. Passion must be harnessed, directed, and sustained through consistent effort. Chase your passion relentlessly. Do not wait for the perfect moment, for perfection is an illusion. Begin where you are with what you have. Let your passion guide you. Let it drive you. Let it make you fearless in the face of adversity, because a life without passion is a life half-lived. And those who live with passion, those who dedicate themselves fully to their purpose, are the ones who leave their mark upon the world. The question is, will you be one of them? 7. Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every failure you encounter is not a sign to stop, but a lesson to learn. It is a test of your determination, a stepping stone on your journey toward achievement. The greatest men in history, the innovators, the leaders, the pioneers, have failed more times than they have succeeded. Yet their failures did not break them, they built them. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before perfecting the electric light bulb. Each failure brought him closer to his goal, teaching him what did not work so he could refine what would. Henry Ford faced bankruptcy before revolutionizing the automobile industry. Abraham Lincoln endured numerous political defeats before becoming one of the most revered presidents in history. These men did not allow failure to define them. They allowed it to refine them. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you keep going, you have not failed, you have only learned. Every setback carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater opportunity. The man who understands this truth never allows defeat to crush him. Instead, he asks, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? And in doing so, he turns failure into a powerful tool for success. Most people view failure as an end. They experience one setback and they convince themselves that success is impossible. They internalize failure, allowing it to erode their confidence and diminish their ambition. But failure is not an indication of incapacity. It is an invitation to improve. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is simple. Successful people keep moving forward, no matter how many times they fall. Failure is a teacher. It reveals weaknesses that must be strengthened. strategies that must be adjusted, and mindsets that must be transformed. It forces you to develop resilience, to cultivate patience, and to refine your approach. The man who welcomes failure as part of the journey will ultimately reach his destination. The man who fears failure will never take the first step. There's no shame in failing. The only shame is in refusing to rise again. If you stumble, if you fall, if you encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable, remember that every great success story is written in chapters of failure. The question is not whether you will fail. The question is how you will respond when you do. Will you allow failure to defeat you, or will you use it to strengthen your resolve? The answer to this question determines whether you will achieve greatness or remain among those who surrendered too soon. Success belongs to the man who refuses to quit, who sees failure not as a curse but as a gift, a necessary step on the road to victory. So take heart. Embrace failure. Let it teach you, let it shape you, and let it push you forward, because as long as you persist, you have not truly failed. You have only prepared yourself for success. 8. The role of continuous learning in achieving greatness. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Knowledge is power, and it is the foundation upon which all success is built. No man has ever achieved greatness by remaining content with what he already knows. The mind, like a muscle, must be exercised constantly, fed with new ideas, sharpened by experience, and refined through the pursuit of wisdom. Those who cease to learn, who believe they have reached the peak of their knowledge, unknowingly begin their decline. The most successful people in the world are lifelong students. They never assume they know enough. They read voraciously, absorbing the wisdom of those who came before them. They seek mentors, those who have walked the path they aspire to tread. They invest in their personal growth, knowing that every new lesson learned is another tool added to their arsenal. They understand that ignorance is the greatest enemy of progress, and they guard against it by constantly expanding their understanding of the world around them. Consider the most powerful minds in history. Thomas Edison, despite his genius, never stopped experimenting, never ceased learning from his failures. Henry Ford surrounded himself with those who knew more than he did, ensuring that his business remained ahead of its time. Andrew Carnegie built his empire not because he had all the answers, but because he had the wisdom to seek knowledge from those who did. Each of these men understood that their success depended on their ability to learn and adapt. Never be satisfied with what you know today. The knowledge that brought you success yesterday may not be enough to sustain you tomorrow. The world evolves, industries shift, new ideas emerge, and those who refuse to learn are left behind. Those who remain open to growth, who relentlessly seek new knowledge, position themselves at the forefront of success. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied. A man may read 100 books, listen to 1,000 lectures, but if he does not act upon what he learns, his knowledge is of no greater value than ignorance. The true power of learning lies in its application. Wisdom is not measured by what you know, but by what you do with what you know. Make learning a daily habit. Read something of value every day. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking. Study those who have accomplished what you seek to achieve. Write down the lessons you learn and apply them in your pursuit of success. Do not let a single day pass without acquiring new knowledge, for in doing so, you guarantee your continued growth, because your potential is limitless and knowledge is the key to unlocking it. The man who dedicates himself to lifelong learning will always rise above the man who believes he already knows enough. The question is not whether you have the ability to succeed. The question is whether you will continue to seek the knowledge that will make success inevitable. 9. Taking action. Dreaming is easy. Talking is easy. But action? Action is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The world is full of men with great ideas, men who speak eloquently of their ambitions, men who claim they will accomplish great things, but ideas without execution are meaningless. Words without action hold no power. Success is reserved for those who take deliberate, consistent action toward their goals. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you do not take action, it is worthless. Knowledge alone does not build empires. It does not create wealth. It does not bring success. The man who reads 100 books on success but never applies what he has learned will always be surpassed by the man who reads only one and acts upon it. Action is the bridge between knowledge and achievement. It is the force that transforms dreams into reality. Too many people wait. They wait for the perfect moment, for the perfect conditions, for the stars to align. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There never has been, and there never will be. The conditions will never be ideal, and waiting will only lead to wasted time. Those who succeed are not those who wait, but those who act despite uncertainty. They understand that progress is made not by hesitation, but by movement. The most powerful step you can take is the first one. It does not matter how small it is. What matters is that you begin. Every great journey begins with a single step. Every great achievement starts with a single decision to move forward. The entrepreneur who builds an empire starts with one idea, one sale, one customer. The writer who creates a masterpiece starts with a single word on a blank page. The leader who changes the world begins with a single act of courage. Do not fall into the trap of overthinking. Do not wait until you feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Success is not about feeling ready. It is about acting before you are ready. The moment you take that first step, you set a powerful force in motion. Action creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence leads to greater action, and soon what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, there will be failures, but these are not reasons to stop. They are reasons to keep going. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. Those who persist despite difficulties are the ones who rise to greatness. So ask yourself, will you be the one who waits, or will you be the one who acts? Your future depends on your answer. Success is not about what you intend to do. It is about what you actually do. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now. Start small, but because nothing happens until you take that first step. And once you do, you will realize that action, not just thought, not just words, is the true key to success. You have everything you need to succeed. The only question is, will you use it? Will you step into the discomfort? Will you do what is hard? Or will you settle for mediocrity? The choice is yours. But remember this, your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday, now.